Hello everyone. Again, we're going to be talking about the frogs and toads activity that we'll be doing with the middle schoolers. But in this video, we're going to be talking about teaching tips. How do we actually, achieve our teaching goals with this activity? To remind you, our goals are we want to encourage exploration and strategic thinking in students. And we also want to give them the opportunity to clearly communicate their reasoning and practice communicating their ideas. So how do we actually achieve these goals? Well, we have several different teaching strategies that we can use. First off, you can ask questions about confidence. So, for example, if a student asks you, is this right? Instead of saying yes or no, you can ask them how confident they are in their answer. You can say, maybe, what do you think? How confident are you? And then how would you feel more confident in your answer if you're not very confident? So, asking students how they feel about something rather than whether they think something is right or wrong will often get you a more honest answer. And then you can really sort of troubleshoot where maybe some of the low confidence areas are. Because students will explore better and learn better if they're feeling more secure in their environment. Tip 2 is you want to ask students about choices. So when a student is stuck or something, instead of jumping in and showing them the correct answer, ask them about the choices they made. You can ask them to start from the beginning. You can ask them to sort of explain some of the things that they've tried so far. And ask them what other options are there. So as you go through the game, you can say, okay, you made this choice here. Are there other choices you can make, right? So really illustrating how many different ways there are to go through this activity will help students explore more. Okay, tip number 3 is you want to ask students about their strategies. So, if a student's been in the activity for a while, you can ask them to sort of give you an explanation of any strategies that they've come up with. So, what strategy are you using? And you can ask them to generalize as well. Will this work on a larger puzzle? How far can you push the strategy to keep going, right? And this is a really good way to get students to dive deeper into activity and to really look for patterns and structure and to communicate their understanding of these patterns and structures. And then, of course, building off of this, the last tip is always don't be afraid to ask, some more technical, challenging questions. So, for example, does it matter which end you start with? Does it matter if you start with frogs or if you start with toads? And why? Does it matter or does it not? And you can also, in a more challenging way, you can ask about numbers of moves, how many types of moves there are, or what's the smallest number of moves you need to solve the puzzle. So these are some questions that can allow you to really, push a student far if they've gotten through most of the rest of the activity. So these are some teaching strategies that you can use. Of course, there are more to really implement this particular activity, but I think you'll have a lot of fun exploring with the students, and yeah, good luck.